Hello everyone, and welcome once more to Red-Wolves and Ramparts, a show that has been critically acclaimed as alright. I am Reace Barnett, your host and DM, and joining me once more at the table is my favorite cast of players, John, Noah, Jacey, and Trey. Last time, we started off the series, which was pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And we found ourselves in the little town of Marport. There you were sort of unceremoniously offloaded onto the docks by Randall, your fundertainment manager, and then left on the island to your own devices. After settling in the Black Sails Inn, you ran into Amelia and Rain. Amelia with an arrow in her neck and necrosis, and Rain desperately trying to save her life. After Timmble stepped in and saved her, you learned a little bit more about Rain and Amelia before trekking off into the woods to find the assailants, which you did. After traversing a mud pit and delving deep underground into the muddy rooms of these frog people, you took out one by one very quickly, and finally ending the reign of Big Ribbit.
And her children.
And then that is where we left off. So, today, we're going to be starting in the morning, the day after. You had all returned back to town unscathed, relatively. Besides Timmble, of course. And after getting back and dragging yourselves to the Black Sail Inn, you returned to your rooms to sleep off the small scratches and the grievous wounds. And just as morning now overtakes you, individually, you begin walking your way down the stairs and meeting at a table. Some of you takes a little bit longer to wake up, but eventually, you are all sitting around a relatively sturdy table on stools in the very empty inn. The White Dragonborn bartender walks out and sets a tray of bowls. He sets one out to each of you. You hadn't ordered anything, but sitting before you is this sort of gravy-esque brown liquid with these sort of matted, rolled up bread to dunk it in. And the barkeep kind of looks at each of you and he turns to Timmble. Consider this my act of gratitude for what you did for Amelia. Word gets around quick about good deeds, so I wanted to repay it.
Oh, thank you.
Anything for drinks this morning?
Ale will be fine.
Yeah.
We do have juice as well, but
I would love a good tall glass of orange juice.
I could see if I couldn't make one.
I would
You have
love
like
that.
a guava juice or something like that?
I don't know what a guava is.
What about like apricot?
I don't think we have any of
juice an
that.
apricot?
We
I don't
have
see, you can juice pretty much anything.
we have
It's
apple.
just whether or not it'll be good.
We have apples here. We have oranges. Those come in the shipments.
I'll
but-
take an apple.
All
Apple
right,
juice.
we'll do that.
Oh.
Also take an apple.
All right. Orange, apple, ale. Got it. And you see him quickly kind of walk back behind the bar and begins pouring you all drinks.
DM, have we
I
had
have
our
a
first
name.
long rest? Reese. Have we had our first long
Yes,
rest?
you have had your first long
Yay,
rest.
there we go.
So you may all reset spell slots and health if you need to.
Timmble saddles up to Althuk with a big old bandage on his head and sets down some paperwork from the day before.
All right, so Althuk, I just want to get it clear. I can't heal you or give you any bonuses until you sign this paperwork.
Well, apparently, I don't need your healing.
All right, yeah, sure. It's if you want to roll that.
But
way.
I do want bonuses. Do you have
Oh, yeah.
pin.
Sure. Here you go.
Thank you. It's like oversized in a draconic hand. All right. Where do I sign?
Initial here.
Uh-huh.
Sign here.
Uh-huh.
Date.
What's today's date?
You see the bartender come up. It's the 4th of spring and the 65 post-day of red sun.
Thank you.
And okay, now you're gonna sign here, and then you're gonna initial 5 more times on the next.
He just
6
signs
following
as an
pages.
X on all of those.
I think that works, yeah. And that should be good.
All right.
As he's filling out this paperwork, the bartender comes back and he sets all of your drinks out in front of you. And after that, he sort of hovers there a bit awkwardly for a second. Anything else?
Just gulping.
Very well, I'll return back to my bar. You see him just walk back afterwards. So, all of you around the table, the day is yours.
Well, I have got to say, I don't know about all the rest of you. I slept like a rock last night.
I think I got like 4 hours. That's what it feels like, at least. I don't know. I had to get some paper. So, like, there's forms for whenever I get knocked out as a cleric. So I'm going to try and avoid that from now on.
Right, yeah.
What kind of?
You thought you guys' forms were big. That is like, it's like a booklet.
Who are you writing these forms for?
The department?
All right.
You guys don't sign stuff for HR?
No. I'm just hired as a muscle.
I actually do a lot, but it's another thing.
You are HR. If we can talk about that real quick.
Not really. I just get paid. I just show up.
What do you do? What is your job?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Rethinking entire parts of my life now.
Well, hey, look at it this way. You do all the forms so that we don't have to.
I guess that's the way to look at it. Yeah.
All right. Would you like some of the ale?
No, I'm good, thank you.
So what's our plan for today? I mean, we got that monk person that should
We
probably
grabbed
talk to
some
at
darts
point.
from the frogs, and I think we were going to double check and make sure it was the frogs that shot Amelia.
So how are we gonna check that? Are we gonna like stab someone with it and see if they have a bad reaction?
Like medically
could.
check her to see if it yeah.
Uh,
I don't know, looking at it in like being the person that healed her and a medically trained person.
Make a medicine check for me.
Ooh, 12.
Okay. They do appear to be tipped with something. You can definitely tell that. It's not entirely clear if it's the exact same substance. You would kind of need to test it to some degrees. But I mean, just looking at it, I mean, it's tipped darts. Surely, getting stabbed by a tipped dart, how many other people are going to be running around with tipped darts nowadays? So.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Okay, now I need like an official like biohazard. Do you guys have bio? Oh,
I actually do have biohazard bags. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a needle
hold up like
too.
a
So here you go. There we go. Yeah, that should be it.
Right. Yeah. All right. So, did the cave collapse?
Yes, it did
The
collapse.
cave like fully collapsed.
We got a necklace out of it, yeah, and you said
Yes,
a
you
couple
did.
jewels, or
Yeah, there were a couple of jewels, I believe. Did somebody write those down?
I did.
Okay.
3 sapphires, 1 ruby, and an emerald necklace with an inscription.
Okay. Yes, there is that as well.
What does the inscription say?
It depends. What languages can you guys speak?
ooh,
That's a great question. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Bard over here with all the languages he knows. Bard man.
Who knows if any of them are going to be useful?
common and draconic.
Sounds about right.
Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Okay.
Common, elvish, halfling, and orc.
Okay.
Abyssal, common, elvish, and infernal.
Okay. So none of you speak it. All right.
Oh,
Right.
So, looking over the jewel, kind of like inspecting it in the light, it's inscripted on the back of it with this sort of black ink that it kind of shimmers a little bit whenever you reveal it to the torchlight. And flipping it over to look at the emerald, you can kind of like peer down into it. You see it has this sort of brilliant green glow coming out of it. Flipping it over again and looking at the inscription closer, you kind of try to like smudge the ink. It doesn't come off. It appears to be on there pretty solid.
Does everyone have like 10 minutes to sit around?
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, I'm actually good at identifying artifacts like this, so I will go ahead and use a ritual cast of Identify to try and figure out what this thing is.
All right, so you take out a sheet of parchment, and you kind of lay it out. You draw the rune of identifying, and you set the amulet in it and wrap it up in the parchment. And after a few minutes, you see black ink begin to seep into the pages out of all of the cracks of the amulet, and you take it off, and you have the description of the object. And looking over it, this is an odd artifact. The composite that it is made of is of a 2-parts piece of steel and a material known as soul steel. Noah should be familiar with it to some degrees. The item itself appears to radiate a form of magic that is both similar to a bag of holding, while also being not a bag of holding at the same time. And it sort of interferes with the identification spell. It just says that it is a bag of holding, and
Like asterisks, I guess?
it like sort of trails off at some point. So it's bag of holding-esque, but not at the same time.
Is there something in it?
Could we do like a history or
History or
Arcana?
Arcana, if you would like to see if you know anything about these.
Sure.
Why not?
That's a 22.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
10.
10.
Can we do either history or arcana?
Yeah,
Well,
either
I guess
one.
it doesn't matter. Either is a 15.
Okay. So with your 23, you've seen similar things before of items being able to hold things within them akin to bags of holding. Unlike bags of holding, usually you open them, you sort of just reach down into the object and pull it out. However, the jewel on this one is very small. And as you kind of like reach your finger out, you sort of are able to get like your finger, your pointer finger and your thumb kind of in it, and you see sort of like a portal. As he puts his fingers in, it doesn't come out the other side. As you kind of reach down in it, you kind of grasp something with your finger, and you're trying to like sort of deftly pull it out. I need you to make me a sleight of hand check.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Is your side of hand bad? Hold on. Oh, I was good. Okay. Yeah.
And I could put guidance on myself. Oh, whatever.
I
We can
could-
try
I could-
again.
we
We can
could-
totally try again. That's a 13.
Okay. Reaching into it, you can like sort of fumble it back and forth, but you can't quite reach it.
Okay, all right.
How good are you at this?
Guidance. Like on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd say like a 2.
I've disarmed a lot of traps in my day. Getting into twos.
Guidance.
All right. Seems good.
So you see him like stick his fingers in, and you're like, all right, sticking fingers into things, got
Cool. Yeah.
it. Don't take
All
that
right,
out of
it's a D4.
context, please.
Already. Come on. That is a 19.
Okay, so reaching into it, you sort of manage to see what he was kind of feeling before, and you grab onto it. And you pull out this scroll. As you begin sort of pondering over it, it appears to be some sort of missive. Also, as well as you kind of flip over to the other side, a contract at the same time. So as you begin sort of poring over the details of the contract, it appears to be signed by a in a different language than you guys can read. But the contract itself is written in common. And as you kind of like flip it over to the other side and you're sort of reading over it, you see it appears to be between an employer and this employee. Reading over it, we've sent you in this already to go and find it, and we expect you to return rapidly. I don't care who you have to go through, I don't care what means you have to utilize. Find the cure and bring it back. And on the other side, as you flip it over, you see that it's signed by an R and nothing else.
Well, seems someone else is after the cure as well.
Curious. I had Randall sign something. Can I compare the R to his R in the contract?
Okay. Taking out your sort of binder of all of this, you page through and you find the contract that Randall signed, and you sort of lay it out next to it. I'm going to say, make a perception check with advantage.
Guidance. Oh, that is an appreciated one. 17.
Okay. You know signatures. You've been dealing with them for quite a while. And so paging kind of between these two contracts, looking at the R, kind of getting in closer so your spectacles can sort of see it a little bit better. They seem to be pretty close.
Yeah, I think this is Randall who did this contract.
Interesting.
Randall was hiring it to frogs?
I mean, it's either that or those frogs killed some people.
Ah. That probably makes more sense, yeah. Right, so what do we do with this information? Are we taking it back to anyone?
I mean, nobody we can really bring it to here, I guess. Randall's
yes, that's
gone.
true. Randall just kind of left, yeah.
Like, I was thinking about it. He's supposed to be our, like, funtertainment manager. He is not here to manage at all.
He's not managing
like,
anything.
He was a funtertainment drop-off, if anything.
He was a chauffeur.
I gave him the wrong form. Like, I've been stressing about this, and I'm gonna admit, that's the real reason why I couldn't sleep last night, is I was terrified that this is the case, and you've just confirmed it for me.
I'm really sorry about that. But I don't think that we have to worry about Randall. Judging by this seems like they aren't really expecting much of us. Because they either sent in a different team aside from us to actually do the job, and they failed, or the last group they sent to do this got. Which, if that's the case, I mean,
Yeah, no, wow.
I think that kind of says something about the company if they're willing to.
What did you do to get sent here?
Yeah. Did you like break Mom's face or something?
Yeah, we don't talk about what happened.
Well,
All right.
All right, yeah.
Right.
Might come up later, but not right now.
No, okay. That's terrifying.
in the business
Yeah.
we call that foreshadowing.
That's like a third act kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're still in like the first act, maybe about to the second, but
Yeah, really set up the Chekhov's mustard.
I could use some more orange juice.
You see the bartender kind of like perk up as you say that. 1 second, and you see him like get out like an orange juicer, and he just.
It's fresh squeezed. We're in paradise.
Well, how old is the orange, though?
You don't. Do you really want to know that, or do you want the orange juice?
Well, I'm not drinking the orange juice. I'm not going to ask about the apples.
okay.
He strained the pulp. It's all good.
We get shipments every 2 or so months.
When's your next shipment?
2 or so months.
Oh, so
The last one just came in.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
It was actually the one that
Oh,
you all
That
came in on.
orange.
so we're also a shipment.
Nice.
Are a shipment
You are all a shipment. Congratulations.
overnight.
All right. So,
More orange.
talking about leads, we still got Rain, maybe.
Yes.
And that's.
I mean, I guess we can always just go door knock and ask around.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like we have Rain sitting there on a pedestal. We should probably ask him first, but if that doesn't get us anywhere, we start knocking.
All right.
Throw rocks through windows if we got it, you know.
So is that the plan? Go see Rain?
Yeah.
All right. So after all of you finish up your breakfast and sort of leave out of the bar without paying, you...
He said it was on.
We were involved
the breakfast was on it. He didn't say anything about the drinks.
I will walk over.
Timmble assumed.
And hand one of the gold coins we got from the hoard over to the bartender and say, I don't know if you wanted us to pay for the drinks, but if not, it's a tip.
Well, thank you very much. I did want you to pay for the drinks, but thank you.
Appropriate.
And with that, you exit out of the tavern, out into the streets, and as you begin migrating your way over to where Rain had mentioned before, you see a little bit more people out today. Not as many as whenever there was the sort of ring of people around the shenanigans the other day, but there are people sort of out and about, more towards the middle of the city, now kind of avoiding the outskirts to some degrees. And as you kind of begin walking through, you see a couple of them sort of like point out to Timmble. It's like, it's the guy from yesterday. Hey, look at him.
Hi.
It's the heel guy. Hey, you're the one who saved Amelia. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, no,
people sort of give their thanks as you walk through the town.
Yeah. High five.
For you, it's more of a low five because they all have to sort of.
Well, it's low for them. I'm high five.
As you make your way to the temple, you see it has sort of this stare down entryway, and walking sort of down lower, you enter into this crypt-like area where there are these sort of lining the walls are these graves that are sort of built into these side slot areas, and each of them are sort of just like slid into these holes, and you see a couple of them are still empty and waiting for graves to be put in. Others have been filled. As you sort of make your way down the middle of it and into this sort of macabre atmosphere, you see this altar that's set up at the end and these pews lining the hallway, and standing at the end of it you see Rain standing over this body that's already in the process of being embalmed, and you see there's sort of bandages have already been sort of wrapped around some parts. Other parts you see he is sort of sprinkling oils over the body still, and as you walk in he sort of, oh, hello, hi, sorry, I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Yeah, is this a bad time?
No, he's not going anywhere.
This is cool.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen a lot of mummies, never one before it's finished.
Ah, yes. Well, this here was Theodore. He passed away 2 days ago, and I've been in the process of dealing with him. And so, but anyways, how can I help you?
Rain.
That's my name.
Rain.
Yes. Ha. I don't know any of your names besides Timmble.
I thought we did this. Oh, right, I'm Finsa.
Nice to meet
officially
you.
meet you.
Yes. Welcome to the Church of the Broken Slab, at least Marport's Church of the Broken Slab to some degrees.
Is this the only church around here? Or
yes.
Right.
We, I mean, I'm sure that people have their own altars in the houses for whatever gods they worship, but this is the only one that we have sort of dedicated to anything.
see.
All right, I'm going to do something kind of suspicious, but can you wait right there? Everybody huddle up. Should we tell him about like the fact that we're looking for a cure, or is that like on a need-to-know basis?
I don't know how else we're gonna get information.
Yeah,
I think it's our only choice at this
I'm
point.
just saying, like the only other crew that we know that went ended up getting like.
By frogs, though.
Yeah.
Not by. What if the reason that the
Smart
frogs shot
frogs.
Amelia was because they were upset by that group?
True.
and he was trying to help Amelia, so I think he's a good guy. Can't confirm, but that's my only theory at this point.
You see Rain is just sort of like looking off at...
Rain.
Rain, yes.
Hey.
Yeah, hi.
We're looking for a cure.
A cure? Like, what?
There's supposed to be a mystical cure on this island. And
Like just a cure-all? Like just a
Yep.
fix disease?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's like a cure-all or if it's like the cure for a specific ailment.
I think it's supposed to be cure-all.
What's the, like, actual thing that's afflicting him?
Do
Do we
I think
know?
that was very much on a need-to-know basis, and we were not need
Well.
to know.
Well,
There's supposed to be, like,
Randall
a
knows that he-
cure.
no, she didn't know that he was sick in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Randall's just like, well, or not Randall, this is Rain. Rain is just like, Randall suddenly appears. Oh,
Get him!
Rain is just like, well, cures,
Like any like magical like
magical,
gold
yes.
head fountain springs or something.
Well, I myself am not much of a healer, as is evident yesterday. I'm much more dealing with those who have already passed. But there's someone who might be able to help you with that.
Networking.
There's a doctor on the edge of town, Dr. Coverfront, and he's eccentric, to say the least. But he does know a thing or two about medicines. Most of the time, people just sort of bring their ailments to him, and usually after that, they bring the dead to me.
So he's not a very good doctor.
Well,
I don't know where he got his doctorate from, actually. I'm not sure
And
if he has one.
His name is Coverfront.
You know, I never put that together, but that actually is pretty suspicious.
That really seems
Yeah.
quite suspicious.
Oh my god.
how many people have you sent to him?
Is he the only doctor in town?
Yeah.
Look,
Yes.
don't worry about it. Look, this is not your moral quandary. We just want to talk to him.
I feel like it is my moral quandary to some degrees because I sent a lot of sick people to...
Well, I mean,
But he's healed some, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
he's healed
like
some.
5.
You didn't send Theodore to him, did you?
You see him look down at Theodore. I did.
Hey,
all right, well,
hey, think about it this way.
Gods.
Hey,
Oh,
if-
gods.
if you find a dying animal and you put it somewhere warm and nice and sweet, and someone else comes along and throws a rock at its head, that's not your fault, right?
well, if you take it to the person who throws the rock at
No,
the head,
no,
then,
no.
I mean,
But if you don't know they're going to throw a rock at it, and some kid comes up and is like, "Can I pet the doggy?" and then throws a rock at it, that's not
These
your
are
fault.
people we're talking about, not dogs.
There's a certain
I'm
amount of
putting it-
philosophy
I'm
put behind intent.
Yeah, I'm divorcing it from this moral quandary you're having.
Your intent was to do good, but you did not know that someone
Yeah.
else's intent was to do evil or ignore. So
okay.
you are still philosophically, morally.
Okay.
do you have a
fine.
police system on this island?
I don't think they do.
We have a sheriff.
Does the sheriff
What
do
is he-
everything?
Where has he been?
I didn't see the sheriff yesterday.
There was a woman attacked in the street.
That is true. Well, he is mainly in title and not practice.
So, like the doctor.
This island.
Well, as far as I knew before, the doctor was in title and in practice, but I don't know anymore now. Now I'm questioning
Hey,
things.
it's all right. We'll talk
but-
to him. We'll figure it out.
Sheriff Greybeard is, I mean, that's a good name. He gets his, he does work. He does do investigating. It's usually too late, but he does investigate every once in a while. If you need to talk to him, he's in the town hall.
Do you have an elected official?
Yes, we
Got a
do.
postmaster.
Do they
you got-
do anything?
Yes, they do. They sort of outsource with other companies in order to bring supplies to the town that we can't ourselves sort of manufacture with our farms. Like Crowe, for instance. Crowe, they have a deal with Crowe actually that they bring supplies here, and we Pay them, probably. I don't know what we
There's a
give
lot
them.
of stuff on this island. It's just a big question mark.
You know, I've lived here for almost all my life, and I've never had any issues with it before, but now it's all of a sudden you show up and...
You said almost. Were you not born here? Oh, sorry, I'm just curious.
No, I wasn't born here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, besides making purchases with the island's money, does the mayor, like, you know, keep track of the sheriff or make sure there's a good doctor?
I thought initially...
Apparently not.
I thought initially the good doctor part, he's what instated me here, and so...
Sorry, the doctor or the mayor?
No, the mayor. The mayor.
Okay.
He's the one who
Well.
allowed me to make my sort of temple here with the help of some other
Oh,
people.
you made the temple.
Well, I helped to sort of cement the religion here,
see.
but the temple was here already, and we sort of just repurposed it.
What god is it that you worship?
The broken slab. So the grave more than anything. We
I see.
worship the sanctity of the grave. We try to keep it that way. So we're against the undead and those who typically try to mess around with the dead.
Preach. Love it.
Aren't you an archaeologist?
I don't like the undead. You know how annoying it is whenever you walk into a tomb and suddenly the slabs are falling down and stuff coming out of the walls? I hate that. It's awful.
Yeah. I don't know whether or not I like you or not yet.
I
Sort of
know
on the
that there's
fence.
this whole thing about the sanctity of the grave, but
That's the entirety of my religion.
once everything's dust, we're not going in and pulling people's bones out. We're just like pulling, urns and
Didn't
stuff.
you bring a mummy out?
I encountered a mummy once. And that was not by choice. Look, you can have your suspicions about me, but I'm not the one who's named Dr. Coverfront. I'm used to this. I get this back at the
all
company
right.
all the time.
Yes. Sorry. I apologize. I'm in no position to really be discussing that whenever I've been trusting a man named Dr. Coverfront. Anyways, so I hope that you found your cure. I assume that's what you're all here for, and I cannot provide that. But if there's anything else you need to know, I'm sure that I have some form of information somewhere.
Somewhere.
Maybe.
Somewhere.
Books, scrolls.
Right. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Is there a library?
There is not.
Oh.
There's a school that might have books.
Like,
Is this
What's
like
the
like an
graduation
elementary school?
It's sort of like a
Does their teacher do anything?
yes.
What's
they
their
do.
teacher's
Are you
name?
sure?
Teacher Coverfront.
Oh my god.
It's a whole family. No.
The Filefinders.
Coverfronts are a lovely family.
Filefinder's the con man.
That's run by Sister Lavender, and she does a fantastic job with our children. Her work is very, very important because otherwise people grow up uneducated, and that's not very good.
What's your graduation rate?
I don't know. I work in the church, man. What do you
I don't
want?
think they're studied in that way.
I think it's more of a they learn until they're able to think for themselves, and then they throw them out of the school.
Until they're able to identify someone named Coverfront.
Well, apparently not.
I'm gonna drill you into the ground for this.
I did not
come
go
on.
to that school.
It's
Please
gonna
do
be
not
really
put
funny
that
'cause-
on
Okay, well, I have another question.
Okay.
So first of all, where are the books located? Do we have to go through you to find them? And is there a history museum?
I mean, I can give you any books I have. History museum, no. Yeah. I mean, you can talk to Sister Lavender. You can talk to me. I have some books.
Who's the oldest person in town?
Oh, jeez.
The person you've been waiting to get your hands on for years.
I don't take joy in dealing with the dead.
Look, I'm sorry.
It is a job more than anything.
I was just relating that, it seems like you would know who the oldest person is because you
I do.
got to prepare this,
I have been regretting the day that I would have to deal with them. Yes.
All right, sorry.
That would be Sister Lavender probably.
Oh no, she's old.
Very old. Yes. And a human too. So those don't
Oh, you don't have like any elves around or anything like that?
I mean, we have the odd dwarf and halfling.
I'm looking for people that have been around here for like 200 years plus. No?
This is a relatively new town in that large respect. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
probably founded here about 100 years ago.
You gotta understand, I'm a halfling. I lived for a long time, so.
I get that, I understand. I'm human, I don't. But
You made it sad. Why'd you have to make it sad?
I think that
we're in a graveyard to some
Rain is
degrees
probably
currently.
very acquainted with the concept today.
Do you have a therapist here? Someone you can, like, talk to, work through your
Oh,
problems?
yes, Dr. Feelings.
Or is that also Dr. Cover
we
Front?
don't have anyone. I mean, I talk to
The dead bodies?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that we have bothered you for long enough, Rain. Thank you for so much.
Do you want a hug?
A little bit, yes. You see,
Hey.
you give him sort of a waist hug,
Yeah.
just to, like around his like legs, and he's like, he sort of bends over. It's like,
You're like a teddy bear.
It's okay. It's okay. Pass guidance. There you go. You just feel a little bit warmer. You got this.
You're like a teddy bear, but you're wrapped in
I'm sorry.
steel.
I'm sorry. It's just. My mother died a little while ago, and I had to bury her, and that was.
That's awful.
Anyways, no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's good. No, you don't have to bury these feelings. They're very real, and you should like acknowledge them.
I should. I should. Yeah, I should.
But like also, just like your teachings say, death is natural. It'll come for us all.
Yeah.
Especially Sister Lavender soon.
Enjoy the time that you have with your loved ones now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, if you
Let's
need
go
anything
talk-
else, yeah.
Anyways,
just, yeah.
we're gonna stop giving you an existential crisis now.
Thank you, please. Thank you all for coming today. And if you have any other questions, please afford them to me on another visit if you can. I need to go and finish my work here and then go home.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we're going to finish our first session. We ran a little long of recording, so thank you all for joining us once more to Red-Wolves and Ramparts. I've been Reace. This has been my Misfit cast, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.